Right, joining us now for more insight is Gur Sabah. He's a press officer for the global Sumud Flotilla. He joins us live from Toronto. Gur, thank you so much for your time. What have you heard from the vessels?
Yeah, this is just a straight-up attack on civilians in international waters, unarmed civilian boats, hundreds of miles from Israel, are being surrounded and threatened at gunpoint. That's not security, it's the use of military force against civilians in international waters. This is illegal under international law. Israel has no jurisdiction in these waters. Intercepting or boarding these vessels would amount to illegal detention, potentially kidnapping on the high seas. So it's critical that all governments act now. Every government has an obligation to protect the over 400 civilians on board and uphold international law. Silence in this moment is absolute complicity. There needs to be immediate intervention to ensure the flotilla's safety and to ensure we can continue to open the humanitarian corridor to Gaza.
OK, I want to talk to a few of those points in a moment, but can you tell me what communications you've been able to have with the people on board the flotilla?
Yeah, we're in constant communication with all the boats on the flotilla. And what we've heard is that Go ahead.
No, please finish.
Yeah, no, what we've heard is that Israeli military vessels have approached the boats with guns and lasers pointed at participants, asking them to move to the front of the boats, to get down on their hands and knees. This is unconscionable, and we're hundreds of miles away from Israel. Israel has no business here at all.
Yeah, it's very clear you have concerns for their safety. You've made the point, and this is what I want to dig into here, the distance that they are still from Gaza. It's maybe to about 2/3 of the journey so far, so still a good distance away. Are you surprised that the interceptions have started this far out?
Nothing surprises us anymore by the IOF and the Zionist state. There is no bottom to their behavior, which we have seen day in, day out in Gaza, in Lebanon, in Yemen, in Iran. There is no bottom to how they think about things, and this is par for the course. Nothing surprises us here anymore.
OK. Well, talk us through what is actually aboard the flotilla. If you were, telling our audience about what is so badly needed in the occupied territories that it is coming in on these boats.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's important to remember, these are civilians stepping in where governments have failed. We have boats, some are super small, some are slightly larger, that are bringing some aid. But the idea here is to open up a humanitarian corridor to Gaza, to break Israel's illegal siege on Gaza and on Gaza's shoreline. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I guess because it's less about then the goods and the items you're carrying, given the size of the population that is in dire need of aid, and more about the message that is being sent.
It's about the message, and it's about mechanically opening up a humanitarian corridor so that then proper amounts of aid can actually flow into Gaza. Make no mistake, Israel has further shut down entry of aid into Gaza, especially since the ceasefire and especially since they started attacking Iran. They have sealed Gaza. They're sealing the West Bank. They are stopping all aid from coming in. The genocide is continuing. The starvation levels are at unconscionable levels. The healthcare system is in practical collapse. So the fact that civilians are now out in sea doing what governments should have long been doing is beyond unconscionable. But it's also to keep sending a message to Israel and the world that when governments fail, we civilians will keep going to make sure that Palestine is freed.
Can we talk about the keep sending of the message? Because these flotillas have been a feature for many, many years, which obviously speaks to a need. But at the same time, can you talk to us? Why do you keep persisting when Israel is so determined and so successful at stopping them?
Well, it's important to not think about, the flotillas have a ton of impacts. The sea activates the shore. We have to remember that every time a flotilla moves towards Gaza, so much happens around the world around the flotillas. Last year, around this exact same mission of the Global Sumud Flotilla, we saw Italian dock workers hit the ports in incredibly huge numbers. We saw citizens in Italy come out in the millions to protest and to support the flotilla. This happens at every port we stop in, and it's also just used to be perfectly frank, to insert Gaza back into the media bloodstream. We know that since the ceasefire, the supposed ceasefire, which is clearly not a ceasefire, since that was enacted, that has completely shut Gaza out of the news stream. So this serves a lot of different purposes, and that's why this keeps going. That's why activists and organizers keep doing these flotillas year after year after year to create exactly this moment in time, exactly this pressure, exactly this time. Why I'm even on here, right? And Al Jazeera is on the better side of things than most than certainly Western media. So it's this is the point.
Gursabah, thank you very much for your time on the program, and we will, of course, join you again so you can keep us updated. Thank you.